Alright, think I got everything going. Audio. I want to start this one off with telling you niggas, if you can't take my level of profanity, if my profanity offends you versus getting some real substantial information from a student here, if that offends you, I would like to politely tell you to get the fuck on because you're going to miss it because you're looking at morals or you're looking at the way humans like to receive shit versus just receiving what the fuck can be given. You see what I'm saying? You worried about the package that it's in, and you look at this package right here. You see this sexy package right here, and this sexy package start talking shit. So I'm saying, fuck, bitch, hole, nigga, shit, asshole, pussy, clit, dick, and all that shit. That shit scare you. If it's gonna run your way, I would definitely say get the fuck on. It ain't for you. Um, Other than that, start this shit off again with saying no obstacles will apprehend you. Prosper over pain. That is the mantra of this channel, my Gnosis. My name is No Way Pop, and that stands for no obstacles will apprehend you. Prosper over pain. Second, I want to say shout out to my nigga Travis Majors. I'm finna tap into some shit that he do, and I like it. Um, I honestly believe he set the trend with this reading books on YouTube, right? And breaking down the understandings or his interpretation of the understanding of the text, right? So, definitely shout out to my nigga Travis. Definitely learning from this guy right there, bro. And if you have not checked out his page, definitely check out. I think it's LVX777, or you just type in Travis Majors on YouTube. This one right here is inspired by. The other day I was thinking about, like, damn, you know what? After coming into consciousness, if you pay attention, for ones who grew up Christian or ones who grew up in a religion, and you start to develop this rebellion against Jesus, or you start to develop this rebellion against the Bible because you feel like you were lied to, because this Jesus person may or may have not walked this earth, and you believed in that, right? And our whole foundation was set up on believing in it, so we rejected it, right? And as I've grown further into my evolution of understanding, even through the teachings of Bobby Hemmett, even through the teachings of Brother Panic, and now even more through the teachings of Travis Majors, and and through my evolution, even when Bobby broke it down, he told us like not to be sectarian. Don't be sectarian, like, because if you looking at the Bible as in a literal sense, you're gonna miss the point. That's the way your average human, the kiddies, the average human, adults, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, however fuck old they are, they don't get the real understanding or the esoteric understanding or the philosophized understanding or the metaphysical or the allegorical understanding of the Bible. So they're taking it quite literal. You see what I'm saying? And that's a kiddie way, a non-adult way of understanding this book. You're gonna have to make the choice to be either a child of God, or God just your ass around like this, or you're gonna make the choice to be an adult in the presence of God. You see what I'm saying? And it's all here. It's all in the mind, in your levels of understanding. You see what I'm saying? And you have to go through certain levels of understanding to be able to decipher through these books, right? To be able to read through these books. And like I said, once I came out of Christianity, which a lot of us have, you see a lot of people, man, that Bible ain't real, this shit fake, this and that. And it's not the case. It's not the case. It's just written in a sense of where it's so coded. For you to get the keys, you would have to have other breakdowns of other systems. And that's what Bobby Hemmett told us. A lot of people like to talk about Bobby Hemmett, Bobby Hemmett, Bobby Hemmett. But like, what did you niggas really learn from Bobby? Like, Was you niggas just entertained, or did you niggas actually grasp the information that this man was putting out? And did you also grasp the way to decipher information from this man? Did he teach you a way to? Not teaching you to believe everything he fucking said. That's what fucked up with everybody. Like he always told you niggas want to preach. Not to take everything he says in literal form, but if you study his information enough, you will understand that what you actually need to develop is the awareness to be able to see, not see with your eyes, but see with your mind, to be able to understand certain concepts when these concepts are presented to you. And like I said, and what I've noticed is like, damn, as we reject that, we stay away from that. You see what I'm saying? And I've noticed this, and I'm gonna bring up why I'm talking about this. So once we come out of that and feel like we've taken the veil off of this whole Christianity thing, and Christians is this, and Jesus ain't this, or Jesus is that type shit, and you develop, what you end up doing is developing some more shadow work for your fucking self. God damn it. You end up developing some more shadow work you're gonna have to indulge in to heal yourself. And niggas don't even understand that they've set up a blockage with this Christian shit. They think they're over, they done, they above it, they better than Christians, they think all this shit, right? They think they over and done with it. But what I've decided, what I've understood is like, damn, I've actually created a blockage. Not here recently, not in the past couple of years, I haven't felt any type of way about it. But as I started to think about it, as we was reading the book, this book over here, let's see, The Cosmic Doctrine by Dion Fortune, and I say, bro, she's profound with this shit, right? Believe it or not, this what made me think about it, because she started talking about how she channeled this information on how the cosmos, the universe, and the planes of existence, right? These planes of existence and refers to the planets. And then not just the planets, the seven bodies of the universe, right? See if I can pull up a page. And how like this shit right here. Hopefully it's getting good up in there. You see, the small one over here, the small one over there, that right there, I want to say that's your universe. Or your cosmos. Whichever one. One of them is a small one. And then on the inside of the cosmos, you have this. This is a large version of that. Hold up. God damn, not my shit. Freezing. Alright. That's the cosmos. Then on the inside of the cosmos, you have the universe. The universe is inside of that. There's a little circle up there. You see? That's the universe. Okay. Regardless, she breaks that down and how the whole manifest reality came into being. And guess who she channeled that information from? Nigga, she said Jesus, nigga. The Master Jesus, nigga. And I know a cult niggas was like, oh hell no, Jesus ain't real, but that shit's stupid. How you gonna listen to a white woman talking about Jesus and she got this information for Jesus? You niggas set up a blockage. The same way I'm sitting here telling motherfuckers the way that I talk or the way that I look will block you from receiving information because you feel like information should be presented in this way, a non-less raunchy, ratchet ass nigga way like me. You're gonna miss it. You see what I'm saying? Same shit they did to Jesus, nigga. Motherfuckers didn't like the way he looked or like the way that he talked and called it heresy or called it fucking blasphemy or whatever the fuck the case may be. Niggas gonna do the same shit. Even though these are allegorical stories that still, now you have to update them to present times. You gotta update them to present times, right? So, with that understanding today, what we're gonna get into is, I got the book over here. Just got it. Found it for $7 at half price books. God damn it. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna tap into the book which is called, let's get to the title. Boom. How to understand your Bible. How to understand your Bible. A philosopher's interpretation of obscure and puzzling passages. Because don't lie, you niggas don't understand it. A lot of us don't. A lot of us don't. Especially your common kitty level. When I say kitty, I'm not saying like you're not mature enough to pay bills and handle shit. I mean kitty level of understanding. You have an immature, your average Christian, your average religious person has an immature level of understanding of God. That's why you box shit out. That's why you can see shit as evil. You see what I'm saying? Because you are not aware. That's why you fear evil shit back here that you call evil. It's because you have a limited, a kitty understanding of God. Because if you understand God, where God is present, fear cannot be present. Let me say that again. Where God is present, fear cannot be present. So ain't no demons, ain't none of this shit gonna scare you because you are aware of God. And when you are aware of God, you're aware of understandings of things. You see what I'm saying? We fear what we don't understand. Why do you think kids fear the dark? You see what I'm saying? Because they don't understand it. Once you illuminate it, once you become aware, now you can become aware because there's light. Once you illuminate it, the fear is gone. So once you understand these little symbols and signs of what they may call demons or evil spirits, you understand like, oh, that once you get illuminated, like, man, that shit ain't shit. And so once you start hearing people talk about the dark side, the evil side of the dark energies, the dark spirits, and they talking about this in a certain manner, you understand like, oh, he don't know what the fuck he talking about. You see what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, he don't know what the fuck he talking about because you wouldn't be fronting like that if you understood what these energies represent. They're energies that exist in everything. And if God created everything, God is everything. So these exist inside of God as well. Man just chose to etch out this description and give this particular part of energy a description. But it's still a part of God, just like a blade of grass. We've etched it out and gave it a definitive, um, a definitive relation. Oh, I can't even fucking think of the word, but we gave it a definitive what's the word I want to use? You niggas get the fuck I'm trying to say. So we defined it, which is means gives it limit. Once you define something, you give it its limits, and that's what it's going to exist as. So there is no devils, there is no evils. You have to understand. And we're going to get into this understandings with Manly P. Hall. And what I want to get into today, Manly P. Hall was the book How to Understand Your Bible. Manly P. Hall is an initial, I want to say, of the Hermetic order. I wonder if he's actually a student of Dion Fortune. Um, which I think they either grew up Christian or Jewish. So, but they were also initiates into the orders. See, the only way to understand these obscure and puzzling passages of the Bible, you would have to be an adept, an initiate. An initiate don't mean you getting initiated to some shit where you kill people, you sacrifice kids, sacrifice ghosts, and you worship devils. That has nothing to do with it. That's your ignorance. That's how they keep you out of it because you're not ready. You're not ready. You're not ready. You're immature in your understanding. Some people, this shit comes naturally to them. When I say naturally to them, obviously they had to go through certain stresses in life that built up their mind to be able to want to know. And then you go through the steps of wanting to know and getting shit demystified. You see what I'm saying? Some people just are just not at the level of understanding. They have to get spoon fed the bullshit that they give everybody at the church. Because sometimes these pastors don't know. A lot of these pastors don't know. But they haven't worked their way up to their level of understanding. Right? And before I start, one more thing. I want to say another thing that boosts this too, because, like, I want to be completely vulnerable. I have been meeting a lot of women, a lot of beautiful women. Oh my god! And they fucking with the nigga vibe. They fucking with the kid vibe. You did, and you know what I'm saying? We vibing and we vibing just on some regular shit, right? And I'm only fucking with motherfuckers really who I can connect with on a mental level. I'm just at that stage of my evolution. You see what I'm saying? Like I want something fine too. Don't get me wrong, but I'm more so focused. My intent is more so focused on the mental aspect. Like I'm more attracted to a way a motherfucker think, a woman thinks, the way she handles her problems, the way she views herself in the world. Fuck how you view the world. I guess that's the same thing, but how she views herself in the world, how she handles problems. So it ain't even really about like what religion, because I'm not a part of a religion. I'm not a part of a cult. I am a student of the occult, which means hidden reality, which means I study the things that are hidden in plain sight, like the messages in these Bibles or these ancient texts that are hidden in plain sight. That's what I do. I don't worship fucking devils. I don't fucking sacrifice kids. I'm not in no fucking religion. I simply understand God on a higher degree than your average person. It's not saying that I'm better than your average person. I still shit, pay bills, I still fart, still get boogers. Still gotta go get a shape up. I still do the same shit everybody else do. So I'm not better than the average person. I just have a different degree of understanding of God. Whereas people in religions put God in a box and say everything inside this box is God. If it's outside of this box, it's not God. And that's complete ignorance. That's complete ignorance. Everything is God. Everything exists in the mind of God. And we're going to get to that because it's in the Bible. And I have been meeting a lot of beautiful women, and we be vibing, they fucking with a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Thinking nigga handsome and shit. They like a nigga sense of humor and shit. You know what I'm saying? We vibing, we step out, we do this, we do that. And we get to deeper conversation. These deeper conversations lead into what I do. You see what I'm saying? And this is what I do here. You see what I'm saying? Occult information. And once they find that out, the vibe just goes straight like this. They out of there. You see what I'm saying? Like the connection that we had is gone because they understand what they've been seeing on TikTok, Instagram, or what other people are talking. Them people, they worship the devil. They stupid. They don't believe in God. They don't believe in Jesus. They believe in the devil. They worship this. They do that. They burn sage this, chakras evil, and this and that, yoga evil, and all this type of shit. Like it's like, God damn. But they don't really break it down, but I can tell. I'm very intuitive, right? So, or I have a level of psychic ability, right? And I can peep. That's what killed the whole vibe. Like everything was straight, everything is good, and then you hit that point, you did, and they seem to think like, oh, you worship the devil. I'm like, have I treated you like what you think the devil treats people like? Like, have I subjugated you? Have I like disrespected you, called you out your name? Hell, have I even just tried to make immediate sexual advances on you? Like, what the fuck have I done? Motherfucker gotta open up the car door for you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, human shit, human moral shit, like, and that's because I fuck with you on that vibe. You see what I'm saying? I fuck with you on that vibe. It's not some shit that a nigga can do for each and every motherfucking woman. But I've limited myself to a certain, I don't even say limit to myself, I open myself up to a decent amount of number of women that I want to engage with. And once they figure that out, that shit is like, oh my God. Straight up, well, I'm a Christian and I believe this and I believe that. And it's like, bitch, how much do you read your Bible? You see what I'm saying? And what level of understanding do you have of it? or you just one of the ones that heard this and you go to church every now and then, or maybe you go every Sunday and get some inspirational word, but you're not getting the deeper meanings of these books. You see what I'm saying? So they think I'm separate from God for some reason. So with that being said, yeah, that whole breakdown, and it actually turned me into like, okay, matter of fact, let's revisit the Bible. Even though since we've been reading the cosmic doctrine, anyway, matter of fact, let me resurface the Bible into my mental, and go through a breakdown and look at it from my new and improved esoteric occult understanding. So, bam, no, it's not the one. Let's get to it. All right, hold up, y'all. Can I make it bigger? No, okay. All right. So here, the sources of the sacred writing. In spite of man, here you go. In spite of human prejudice to the contrary, there is but one religion and one truth, and all the great faiths of the world are parts or fragments of the ancient wisdom. So all this shit that you got in your Bible is fragmented. It's fragmented. Bobby been told if you want to get the whole shit, you gotta go to the Vedic system, you gotta go to the Buddhist system, you gotta go to the Egyptian system, you gotta go to um the Nordic system. If I'm fucking it up, so what? The scriptures of the world, hold up. The scriptures of the world are written records devised both to preserve and at the same time to preserve and at the same time conceal secrets of the 49 branches of eternal law. It naturally, hold on, it naturally follows that, it naturally follows that there is a certain interdependence between religious writings. To understand, oh, fucking ain't gonna let me do all that. To understand any one sacred book completely, it is necessary to also understand all other sacred books. This is what occultists do. This is what an esotericist do. We hit all this shit to get the full understanding. It has been difficult for human beings to accept this truth. It's difficult for them, bro. They have a very kiddie understanding. And for the lack of interreligious understandings, there have been very little religious understandings. Each man clinging to his own book, hugging to his heart, his own fragment of the law, has believed that there is a peculiar virtue in proclaiming a part and denying the rest. Come on, man. Bibles, so called, are collections of inspired writings and the recordings of ancient oral traditions. They are accumulated over immense periods of time and can usually be traced to the lore of preceding civilizations, built up from earlier fragments. They should never be regarded as revelations in the sense of being delivered in toto or in total, or I don't know what that means, in total to any individual by some divine being. Okay, built up from the earlier fragments, they should never be regarded as revelations in the sense of being delivered in into or in total to any individual by some divine being. And somebody just gave me the most holiest book ever, speaking religiously. All right, the revelation factor is generally limited to interpretation. The revelation factor is generally limited to interpretation. Some illumined individual contemplating sacred matters perceive some deeply concealed value, and by placing special emphasis upon this new aspect, all they're doing is placing a new emphasis upon this new aspect in what they do. They come to be regarded as a religious founder. You see what I'm saying? So An adept go through this student, he go through this initiation and study this and study that, and obviously the common man is not a part of it. And then he has a new revelation about this understanding and breakdown of this ancient teaching. It came before him, or that came before Abraham, or came before Moses, and they get this, and then next thing you know, they the founder of this religion. Among ancient peoples, sacred writings were reserved. Listen, among ancient peoples, sacred writings were reserved for the contemplation of initiated priests, people who went through the conditioning to be able to understand this. Not your common, average, everyday person who thinks they're better because they go to church, who thinks their God is better. Like there's multiple gods. There's one. There's always been one. Certain occult students or certain people who study certain different levels of spirituality think there's multitudes of gods. No, there's one God. There's multiple aspects of one, nigga. Like there's one human race, nigga, and there's multiple aspects of one human race. And were not available to the laity. It was not available to the common folks. I speak. The priests interpreted such parts of the scriptures as applied to problems of the occasion. The populace gathered, the regular, normal people gathered before the temple, gathered at the church, received their spiritual instructions from initiates of the priestly orders who stood upon the porch of the holy house and solemnly expounded the laws. Church. But nowadays, a lot of shit is perverted. And you think you got a deep preacher, but when I listen and see clips, and that's why I said I'm going to go to church. And see these motherfuckers teach, bro, they just giving inspirational thought. Spiritual inspiration. They're not really giving you a deep, expounded understanding of God. You see what I'm saying? A deep understanding, because you got to think about, what do people normally go to church for? What do people normally pray to God for? All people pray and ask for is better living conditions. That's all niggas want, dog. Better living conditions. They want the kid to be safe and not hurt. They want to be safe and not hurt. They want to pray for a good husband. You want to pray for a house and a car and a good job. You want to pray that your sickness go away. You want to pray. Nothing's wrong with that, though. Right? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is nobody is trying to, no one is asking and praying for wisdom to understand God better. No one's trying to do that. You just want God to bless you with a better business or a good credit score or a good bank account or a good man who can blow his bank account on you while he go out and work tirelessly. Or you want a woman that can just accept you for you and you not work on yourself. Or a woman want a man just accept her for her and they not work on themselves for the betterment. You're not asking to get a deeper understanding of God. What is this whole existence? Why are we here? You don't want to know that. That's why you selfish. So if you selfish with God, how you gonna be selfish? How you not gonna be selfish with your partner? How you not gonna be selfish with yourself? How you not gonna put yourself in the box and miss the blessing that God give you? Or miss the lesson that God's trying to give you? How you not? Because you limited with the shit you already asked for from God, bro. These priests were equipped with the keys of scriptural allegories by which they were enabled to unlock the profound parts of the spiritual tradition. The book is written in all allegories. You take it literal, you miss it. After the decline of the mysteries, which means after the decline of the mystery systems, when the sacred books fell into the hands of the profane, the subtler values were lost. Once this book landed into the hands of you niggas and you bitches, you clitorises and you dicks. Once it landed into your hand, you perverted it and misunderstood all of it. The Vedas, the sacred books of ancient Aryan Hindus. If you didn't know, I know you probably think Aryans are these white dudes with these swastikas on their head. No, Madame Blavatsky got that information and handed that, and then handed that shit over to Hitler, and it got perverted. See what I'm saying? Take this ancient information and pervert it, and now they become the superior white race. Ignorance. But these Aryan race are of Hindu culture. Appear to be the oldest scriptural writings and the source of most of the sacred books now venerated through the world. The religious tradition of the ancient Hindus of incredible antiquity. The traditions of these people indicate that the laws and institutes of the gods were revealed to the progenitors. The traditions of these people indicate that the laws and institutes of the gods were revealed to progenitors of the Aryans in the highlands of the Himalayan mountain country nearly a million years ago. Nearly a million years ago. Right? The migration of the Aryan tribes, first southward and then westward, resulted in the establishment of several sub-races and cultures. The migrating tribes carried with them the sacred traditions of the ancient gods. And like I said, when you understand when they put gods at the end, oh, we're gonna get into it because the Bible already say Elohim. That's plural. You see what I'm saying? They gave us the version that says God. God is a German word, and it means singular. But even after that, it says, let us go down and confuse the language of man, or let us create man." And God said, "Let us." Why would they substitute the word God instead of keeping Elohim, which is the Hebrew word for it, or maybe the Hebrew translation into English word for Elohim? I'm not a pro at speaking Hebrew or understanding the Hebrew language, right? So somebody else can clear that up for me in the comments. With the development of writing, so when I was saying gods, multiple aspects of the one, nigga. One God, multiple aspects of itself. Just like you one person and you got multiple aspects of yourself, you can get no way, no way, right? You can get no way, or you can get Joe. You know what I'm saying? Or you get little Joe from 3-4. It depends on what mood I'm in, nigga. You see what I'm saying? You can get the studious nigga, or you can get the clubbing nigga, or you can get the silly playing around all day nigga. Or if you look right and the pussy smell right and it's clean and water, you may get the freaking pussy eating version of me. You dig what I'm saying? Multiple aspects. With the development of writing, the records passed from the memories of priests and scribes to the more permanent and impersonal media of stone, clay, and papyrus. So once writing came into understanding, because all this shit wasn't always written, it was passed down through stories. You see what I'm saying? Allegorical stories. When motherfuckers think mythology means fake and not real, that has nothing to do with it. They're allegorical stories. Your Bible is full of allegorical stories that were not literal. A breakdown of cosmology, breakdown of metaphors, or of metaphysics in philosophies regarding to these metaphysics and understandings, or this occult or this esoteric understanding of your whole fucking existence, or the astrological breakdown. You see what I'm saying? From the Vedas pour forth the streams of religious traditions which flowing into various nations down through the ages appear in the course of time as the single source of the numerous sculptural writings of the world. Great saints and sages, hold up, Great saints and sages interpreting this ageless wisdom wrote their commentaries or restated in the terms of their own day the Vedic lore and the sacred tradition. So what you're getting in these sacred books is people reinterpreting it for their time and their day. And then they also have it coded with these allegories, right? They also have it coded in this way. So when they breaking it down and saying it, like, it's making, like, because right now, like, the Ten Commandments, like, thou shalt not steal another man's goats. Niggas ain't got goats. You see what I'm saying? Niggas don't have fucking goats. I don't know one nigga. When I say nigga in this term, I mean one nigga that has a goat. I don't know one. I know niggas got goats, but I don't know a nigga with a goat. So I can't never steal a nigga goat. You have to, until present times. People want to live like fucking 2024 fucking years ago. In China, Lao, Lao Tzu and Confucius were the interpreters. All right, check this out. And their writings have become scripture. See what I'm saying? Their writings end up becoming scripture. Their writings, their interpretation of ageless wisdom ends up becoming scriptures. Ends up becoming what we call Bible, Quran, or the Torah. In India, Buddha was the great emissary. In Persia, it was Zoroaster. In Egypt, it was Akhenaten and Hermes, or Tahuti. But okay. And I think this nigga part of the Hermetic order. That's why he used Hermes. But anyway, in Greece, Orpheus or Pythagoras and Plato. In Syria, hold up. In Syria, it was Moses. And later, Jesus. Because is that not what Jesus did? Why did they say he was preaching or talking heresy? Why did they say he was preaching or talking blasphemy? Because the priests of that time and day did not update their fucking systems. They still working on, and they still working on fucking, I don't want to say Android, but they still working on an old Apple Mac system from the 1999s, and it's 2024. Nigga, update your system. Your interpretation of this ancient secret wisdom is this. And this is what, is it not written in your law that ye are gods and it cannot be unchanged? He said that. What the fuck? How you gonna say some shit like that? And then you out here telling it to the common folks. So now Jesus, during his time, he was evil. Think about, you have to step into the mindset of the priest of that time when Jesus arrived, right? For my cult folks, don't put yourself in a box because I'm talking about Jesus. Whether we believe he existed or not, it has nothing to do with it. Now we're stepping to a level of awareness. So, if Jesus come through speaking the words that he was speaking during his time, the priests of that time saw that to be fucking evil. You see? The same thing people do to me. The same thing people do to you. If you're a student of occult information. People see little shit like this behind you, they get to think, oh, he evil. They have no understanding of God. Or they have a kiddie understanding of it, right? So they're going to label it evil because they don't understand it. And they're not trying to understand it. And if they're not trying to understand it, maybe on your next incarnation you'll get it. According to the teachings of the old initiates, the spirit tradition was likened to a flame burning forever upon the altars of the gods. The flame was divided into 7 flames, and these in turn were again divided into 7. The result being 49 fires. or the 49 spiritual revelations, called in the Kabbalah of Moses the 49 gates of the law. We're going to get to that. Now, after reading the Cosmic Doctrine by D.M. Fortune, she's a student of she's an initiate, right? She's initiated into all, I don't know if it's Hermetic Order or Golden Dawn, one of the two. I think this motherfucker is a Golden Dawn. Not that informed about all that, right? But I just don't want to fuck it up. I think I'm right, but I just don't want to fuck it up. So, what is the Kabbalah? The Kabbalah is the tree of life. The shit that was in the Garden of Eden, right? The shit that was so called, we're going to get to all that, but the shit that was in the Garden of Eden that God said you can eat from. Here, let me make sure it's showing on camera. This is it. This is what it looks like. You think they look evil? Then that's your fault. Because you ain't studying your Bible. You read the Bible and then just go on about your day. And yep, I did my thing. I understand it. You don't. And that's the unfortunate. And when I say she is cold with this shit, she is cold with this shit. And her word, like, you gotta really, well, you gotta get a breakdown of that shit, bro. So I read it on my own, read the chapters on my own, then go back and watch Travis Major's video and see if I get the same thing. I'm pretty, and then he definitely pulled some shit that I didn't catch after me reading. Cause I like to get my own interpretation first and then go what's the name. But yeah, it's the tree of life, right? That's what the Kabbalah is. It's the tree of life that God said you can eat from. And you niggas ain't eating from it because you don't understand God. You reject motherfuckers and call them evil. Because you don't understand. Nigga. Thus, out of the one eternal truth came forth the 7 world religions. And each in turn divided into 7 lesser parts. All together constituting the divine wisdom. It's all one, nigga. The Christian Bible is the principal sacred book of the Western world. It is usually divided into 2 parts and occasionally into 3 parts by the insertion between the Old and the New Testaments of the Apocrypha or the doubtful books. Have you heard of the Apocrypha? Jesus saying some totally different shit inside of that. And what the fuck they just, ooh-wee. Jesus already be talking funky in the new version, in the New Testament. He talking some for real funky shit. But that them apocryphal books, the Old Testament sets forth the secret doctrine in Israel. The Old Testament sets forth the secret doctrine in Israel. It is a what? It is a Kabbalistic book, the Tree of Life. Almost unintelligible without the assistance of certain commentaries. It's almost ununderstandable. So, when I went through my stage, when I told on the other video, I told you sitting in the trap house, I'm catching plays during this time, and I went through a certain stage of reading the book about money. Fuck, I can't remember. But it told me to tap into my subconscious mind. So okay, I'm like boom, 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 and wanted me to replace what I cared for the dearest the most, and it was Jesus or God at that time, or at least that I felt that's what I was supposed to say. And it said replace that and put money there. I'm like, hey, hold up, what the fuck? Hold up. If it's Jesus, I'm tripping. Let me go back and study the Bible. I'm gonna get through the New Testament. This shit don't fucking make sense. I'm already a fucking intellectual. You see what I'm saying? So I need to make intellectual sense to me. It did not. It's almost unintelligible without the assistance of certain commentaries, nigga. So I know you niggas ain't getting it. No niggas ain't. They don't even teach from that shit in the church. This all New Testament shit, bro. The New Testament, how? How's you skipping the first part? Like, how the fuck you gonna be in church and then they tell you, oh, we don't go by that old shit no more. We just did. So why the fuck do you still have it? Why the fuck is the Bible still produced? Why in Christian churches is the Bible still produced with the Old Testament in it? Why not just disregard that? It's like it's a total mind fuck on a common person. And you wonder why people stop being Christian. It just felt like it was filled with lies, and I get it. I felt the same way. But your preachers don't be having a esoteric understanding or a higher level of understanding of these books. They just following tradition. You see what I'm saying? That's what the priests were doing back then. They was following tradition. Jesus didn't come with that old tradition that they were talking about. Tradition, which is cultural, has nothing to do with God. Tradition, which is cultural, has nothing to do with God. God don't got a culture. You niggas got cultures. The New Testament derives its teachings from the Essene mystic of Syria, the Mithric cultists of Persia, the Sephiric rites of the Egyptians, the Simonian Gnosis, also of Syria, and the Neo-Platonism of Alexandria. The New Testament of your Bible is derived from all of this sacred, mystic understanding of God. You need to understand it. And how do we know? Didn't Jesus disappear from like 12 to 33? The nigga went to Egypt. Didn't Moses, doesn't it say Moses was learned through all the ancient wisdom of Egypt? They didn't leave out, they didn't say some. The nigga learned all the ancient wisdom of ancient Egypt. And this is not me putting a big emphasis on Egypt. It was the time or the place at that time where that it had the mystic schools. It had the knowledge of information that moved to Egypt at this time. So they got the big universities like America. Everybody comes from across the world to come study at America. You see what I'm saying? But this, in this case, it was the ancient sacred teachings and understandings of God. The unknown authors of the gospel were, of course, men. Listen, the unknown authors of the gospels were, of course, men learned in comparative religious systems of their day. It is futile at this time to engage in speculation or controversy as to the identity of these writers. It don't even matter, Paul, John, whatever. Fuck. None of that shit even matters, bro. It is sufficient to say that they possessed a working knowledge of the secret doctrine. They had to. Once you study this occult shit, go back and read it. Like I think Dion Fortune broke down like how the Lord's Prayer is all Kabbalistic on earth as it is in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Like she broke that down and how that actually correlates to Malkuth. Malkuth is the lowest part where we exist at down here. Then you get the heavens up here, or God up here. The heavens, in certain astral planes, and the mental plane and the etheric plane, that shit exists up here. Then you get to the highest realm. But on earth as it is in heaven, you see, it's a connection. Right there in the middle, you got a cross, and it's the Son of God. It's the Son. You can't get to God without going through the Son. If you went straight up the middle path, or if you went zigzag, nigga, you still gotta go through the Son. Not the S-O-N, the S-U. Matter of fact, both of them, nigga. And purposely contrive to conceal this knowledge in what is made to, listen, hold up, it is sufficient to say that they possessed a working knowledge of the secret doctrine and purposely contrive to conceal the knowledge in what is made to appear an historical narrative of the life and works of an individual. They tried purposefully to conceal it and make it seem historical. But the one with awareness and understanding, they'll be able to peep it. When I first peeped it, when I first read through it, again, I was like, okay, this shit don't make sense. Boom, it sparked it into me. Like, how the fuck did Adam and Eve have a son and another son, and then one of the sons leave off and go into the land and lie and marry somebody? But it's only four, it's only these motherfuckers. How did, what the fuck? Because it's allegorical, it's not literal, it's not a historical book. Like the Christian Revelation, the Old Testament in the Mosaic, basically the Mosaic tradition, the tradition of Moses, sets forth under the guise of history an elaborate metaphysical system derived directly from old Egyptian lore. Indirectly, listen, I think that's where Moses was from Chaldea. Indirectly from Chaldea, Phoenicia, in India. Listen, Moses was an initiate of the secret schools of Egypt. I didn't make this up. It's in the Bible. There's nothing prideful about me saying this. Oh, Egypt is this and that. I'm off of that. I was there at a point. Oh, the hell stole everything from Egypt. Man, get the information about that motherfucker. You niggas stuck in your ego. Moses was an initiate of the secret schools of Egypt. In the Pentateuch, Pentateuch, usually ascribed to Moses, is the surviving remnant of the most profound teachings. Right? It is. How can you? Right. It is quite unlikely that the Pentateuch has descended to the present time in anything resembling its original form. So whatever the fuck we got now, it don't even resemble what the fuck it was like in its original form. Niggas did transcribe through it and used it and switched it up and played with it like this and changed it like this. But maybe the principle still remains the same. But it's not going to be written in the same level of understanding that was written then. You dig what I'm saying? See, like, imagine reading a rap um who use a lot of lingo in their raps. Like, who really use a lot of lingo. Fucking E40. Alright? Imagine hearing an E40 rap. Imagine traveling back in time with an E40 rap. And the way E40 raps with all this crazy ass lingo in this shit, right? Do you think a motherfucker gonna be able to decipher that shit? At what level would a person be able to decipher this shit? Because for one, he already speaking in allegories and metaphor. You see, in double entendres. You see what I'm saying? I know I'm making sense to somebody. It's not gonna make sense to the average person. Or take it to the future. It's not gonna make sense to the average person. You see what I'm saying? Only niggas who were initiated in the school of hip hop, in a school of hip hop culture, will be able to decipher that. Your average person is not going to be able to decipher it. Just like your average person is not going to be able to decipher the Bible. But yet, the average person is going to think they know God and know Jesus better than niggas like us who study the occult and esotericism, because they don't understand it. We're evil. The considerable evidence that the true books of Moses were lost in the night of time. But whatever the case, it is certain that the ancient wisdom, although somewhat distorted in the form, still survives in the Old Testament writings. And two, and I hate to say it like that, and also that it can be extracted therefrom with the aid of certain keys. With the aid of certain keys, you can still get this ancient wisdom about the Old Testament. And patient, illumined research. You niggas have to. A reasonable interpretation of the biblical writings is one based upon a system of cross references or cross reference. You niggas gotta do cross reference. You niggas read one fucking book. That goes for anybody who read one fucking book on anything and think they know and got this shit down the fuck back. You read one book, you ain't cross reference shit. Fuck can you go to school, right? If we speaking about religion as a school or learning about God, fuck can you go to school and the whole school term you got one book you learning from. And then you've been in this school for fucking 40 years. Reading from one book. How the fuck long do it take you to understand one book? You ain't cross-referencing? Well, he said this, and then they said this, and they said this, and oh, it correlates because that means this, and this means. That's how you fucking think in the world. You have to cross-reference, motherfucker. You cross-reference when you're shopping. You think real deep when you shopping, and you cross-reference. You don't go to one source. But when it comes to your Bible, when it comes to, matter of fact, when it comes to understanding God, you only go to one source. Such a big kid. A reasonable interpretation of the biblical writings is based upon the system of cross-reference, in which all the great schools of ancient religion and philosophy are considered as one composite structure. It's all one. Thus, each system is interpreted in the light of others. As each religion has built up from innumerable older beliefs, the understanding of these various background beliefs is absolutely essential. The gaps in one system, where the tradition has been mutated, mutilated, or lost, can be filled in I thought I said informed, can be filled in from other systems of similar tradition. If the work is painstakingly done, the result is a complete picture by which the student is able to comprehend the correct meaning of obscure passages and fill in perplexing vacancies. The important thing is to be sure that the building in is done from the same stream of tradition as a religion that is being reconstructed. Hold up. I just hope niggas. I really don't give a fuck what niggas do. This is for my documentation, and I want to revisit Bible because, like I said, bro, I went through a certain level of trauma, and I set up a blockage in my subconscious mind. That this religion fake, they lied to us, they deceived us. This person ain't real. He never walked the earth, and this and this and that. And even though at this time I still got an understanding from the late great Bobby Hemming, and he told you what it was filled of. It's not that the Bible was a lie. You niggas just didn't understand it. The teachers who, the pastors, your Sunday school teachers, they didn't understand it for that level. They just following tradition. It ain't their fault. So now I'm entering it from esoteric, philosophied, mystic, mystic type understanding, right? Because this is the level of understanding of shit that I'm into, right? That I'm a student of, right? All right, let's get into it. Here we go. The biblical theory of creation. Ooh. The cosmogony of the Jews is derived directly from the Chaldean and the Egyptian, right? Because what? Jesus was Jewish. Or Jesus was of the Hebrew culture. right? They Jews. This has been proved beyond any question of doubt by the discovery of cuneiform tablets, much older than the Jewish Bible, which contains many of the stories set forth in the opening chapters of Genesis. See, you niggas get confused. I'm like, oh, what are you talking about? They can't get, they stole from that. No, this the original Bible, this the original word. They everybody else. You missing the point. You trying to prove your ego by saying no, my religion had it first. The point here is that it's in every fucking thing. And your specific religion is not the only way to God. Now there are historical facts that show this shit predates that. But you want to get in your ego like, no, they predate that. We first, we did this and that. No, that was the oldest thing ever written. Like, bro, you missing the point. Here's the point. It is quite possible that the Old Testament originally contained a much more amplified account of creation. But certainly, it is still possible to make much more of the book of Genesis than the average churchman has accomplished. Right? So we still gonna get more of the Genesis book of Genesis, the average churchman. I heard the book of Genesis was actually written last. I can't remember if that's true. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like, okay. With the aid of the Jewish and Kabbalistic commentaries, Genesis is amplified into a rational account of the beginning of the universe. For a vital, significant, and impressive, far more vital, significant, and impressive than the accepted theological version. A great scholar observed in the last century that Christian theology, end of the course, he included Jewish cosmo, cosmogony. Cosmogony. God damn. Reading too fast, they probably laughing like a motherfucker. Fuck it. Was the only system believed by the more advanced races of the earth to insist that God made the universe out of nothing. Let's get to it. Let's go. Here we go. The gods. The book of Genesis opens with a simple and dramatic statement, which has been anglicized into the most impressive sentence in English literature. What is it? In the beginning, God created heaven and the earth. Let's see. This seeming, verse seemingly presents no problem, right? But the more a searching student thinks about it, the more fully he will realize into 10 words has been compressed a cosmic process involving hundreds of millions of years of time and innumerable complicated mysteries. How did you niggas accepting that? It's like accepting an algebra problem without understanding the concepts of how x, y equals z, without understanding how the fuck you get x, y, and how the fuck can you get to the point where it equals z. You just accepting that, oh yeah, x, y equals z. Yeah, hell yeah. X, y equals z, yeah. Duh. Into 10 words, the beginning is expressed in 10 words, and that's enough for you. Only an elaborate commentary can make this verse partly intelligible to the human mind entirely ignorant of divine cosmic procedures. The basic, normal, average people are ignorant of cosmic procedures. Let's accept it. Ignorant doesn't mean stupid, like you can't tie your shoe, like you don't know what 1 plus 1 means. Ignorant does not mean that. Ignorant means completely uninformed about something. Nigga. We must first define the word God. Hold up. We must first define the word God as it is used in this case and throughout the first chapter of the Bible. The word, listen, the word in Hebrew is not God. Why are we going Hebrew? Because Moses was Hebrew, Abraham was Hebrew. Israel, Jesus, Joseph, Jacob, Hebrew niggas, right? If you want to make it historical, right? If you believe in this book as an historical event, right? The word in Hebrew is not God or Jah or Jehovah, but what is it? Elohim. God is is a reverent, but entirely insufficient. It's not a sufficient enough word to describe what we talking about here. It's not, it, but entirely insufficient word to convey the true meaning of Elohim. Most important to be considered are two facts. First, in Hebrew, Elohim is an androgynous term inferring a combination of male and female attributes. Attributes. Male and female attributes, nigga. We're really talking about masculine and feminine, which is void of dick and pussy. It has nothing to do with dick and pussy. It's the masculine and feminine principles, the positive polarity and the negative polarity. Negative does not mean bad or evil, right? Negative means magnetic, pulls in. Positive means electric, push out. That's what male and female attributes mean. That's what the divine masculine and the divine feminine mean. It has nothing to do with dick and pussy. Second, the word by its termination is plural. Elohim is plural. Niggas should know this by now. But maybe some people who run across my page who don't know. So shit like this, a nigga already knew. Because when I was trying to first off get my first understanding of the breakdown of the Bible, like 2013, first information I ran into was I'm looking, because I'm still Christian at this point, so I'm looking to try to understand. And like, fucking Elohim, why the fuck they say God? What's God? Elohim, multiple. Okay, damn, now that makes sense, because they say, let us go down and do this to man. Let us create man in our likeness and image. Actually, before the word, actually, therefore, the word Elohim means, hold up, the male, female creators. Representing, see, this is what I'm saying. All right. Representing a host or at least a group of powers and not under any condition. A single personal entity. Not under any condition is it a single personal entity. Niggas. The words heaven and earth are also misleading. Why? Through inadequate translation. By heaven and earth should be understood a superior and a inferior condition. Listen, by heaven and earth, it should be understood that basically it's talking about what? A superior, which would be heaven, and an inferior, which would be earth. Inferior and a superior and an inferior condition. Nigga. A separation. Hold up. A separation of qualities, not a division of place. Listen, a separation of qualities, not a division of a physical place. The average reader will think of heaven as a firmament and earth as the planet, and this interpretation will destroy entirely the significance of the verse. It would be, hold up, it would be better to interpret heaven and earth as what? Spirit and matter. Spirit is heaven, matter is earth. Spirit, heaven, non physical. Matter, earth, physical. Or the subtle in the gross. Huh? The subtle, the unperceivable. by the five senses. And I'm learning this because I study Sankir Darshan. I study Tao Shuti. I have this understanding now, right? Of the subtle and the gross. The subtle is things that are non-perceivable by the five senses, which could correlate to heaven or spirit. And then you have the gross, everything that can be correlated to the physical matter, earth, which are perceived by the five senses. In the sense of vibration or qualities of life and vitality. Okay. The words in the beginning also present difficulties. Why? The wise student will interpret them as from that which is first, or in in eternal principles, or that which was in the beginning. This leaves the only word. What's the last word? Created. And here, again, misunderstanding is almost inevitable. Listen, because why? You have a human mind. You think like a fucking human. The human mind customarily conceives creation as the making of something that is new. Check this out. But if we think about it, we realize that in creating any physical thing, creation is only a new pattern made up of already existing factors. I will break that down more, but guess what? He's going to do it. He's going to do it. Everything that's created is made. Fuck it. If I create a cotton white T-shirt, it's a new shirt to you, right? But it's made up of old material. The cotton already existed before I made the shirt. So you thinking it's something new, but it's not. It's made up of pre-existing content. The same shit with heaven and earth. Thus, if a man creates a picture, he requires the aid of paints and brushes and canvas. The creation is the inward inspiration which applies these instruments for the release of an idea. It's the inward inspiration which applies these instruments for the release of an idea. It's the inward creativity, it's the inward inspiration from God that creates heaven and earth. God created everything outside of it, or him, or she, whatever you want to call it, because it's all of that. One God. Creation in this verse thus implies formation. It gave it form. So this cotton used to be oh niggas. This cotton right here. Let's see, can you see it? Cotton. See? Real deal cotton. Picked it up off the side of a cotton field. Why would you do that? You a nigga. You was a slave before. Cotton. Right? Cotton. Right? Now it's a shirt. Cotton. Now it's a shirt. Made out of the raw materials. You think it's something new. It's not. Creation in this verse implies formation. So this cotton was formed, it was put under certain stresses and formed what? Implies creation in this verse implies formation or manifestation, the arranging of ever existing elements into new patterns to be the vehicles of purpose. This was put into a different pattern. Cotton was formed into a different pattern, and it became manifest into this, a cotton t-shirt, nigga. With the thoughts in mind, let us read again the verse according to the fuller understanding of the meaning. Okay, talk to us, man. Man, P. Hall. From the eternal principles and essences, the androgynous creator gods manifested forth the positive and negative aspects of being. Don't get lost by them. Don't get confused by the androgynous creator gods. We will break down that in another sense. It's aspects of one. Remember that. From the eternal principles and essences, the androgynous creator gods manifested forth the positive and negative aspects of being. It ain't that deep. Having, it's not deep to me because I studied this shit. Having thus clarified interpretation, we can bring to bear upon its such hold up. Having thus clarified interpretation, we can bring to bear upon it such commentary matter from the ancient Jewish beliefs as well reveal the full significance of the verse. The Jewish mystics, listen, the Jewish mystics recognize an eternal, definitionless, something with no definition, principle, which they demean, I don't know why it says im sof, but it's ain sof. I don't feel like showing you niggas. If you look at the tree of life, it'll break it down. Because outside of this is where God existed before He created heaven and earth. So, heaven, earth. Outside of that is where God existed before He started creating it. Right? And it's called Ein Sof, the boundless. From the Egyptians, they got that from the Egyptians. They derived the teachings that the boundless one possessed three intrinsic aspects or attributes, being life and light. See, now when we can get back into some Darshan or Tawa Shooting or any of the yogic teachings or the tantric teachings. There's always three aspects. Always three: the mother, father, the son. The mother, father, son, or the son, the father, and the Holy Spirit. Or you got Isis, Osiris, and you got Heru, right? Or you got what they call in the Hindu teachings is the three gunas. Three gunas, these three aspects, right? That exist in the man. We'll get to it, bro. But these three aspects are called Ain, Sof, and Ain so far, the triple darkness of space. It's not dark as in evil. It's unmanifested reality, which is what God is. It's the potential to be anything, nigga. These three as one. They see those three as one. Three, listen, three distinctive intrinsic aspects or attributes. God has multiple attributes. You can't put God in a box and say, this is my God, and what y'all over there doing is not my God. Lame ass nigga, you don't got no understanding. You a kid. These three as one in the one formless, ageless, and changeless was the true God. Was the true God whose most perfect symbol was space, the source and ultimate of all things. Periodically, according to the great cycles, space calls to emerge from its own nature. Primordial unity means what? Before time, before existence, before the beginning is what primordial means. Before the beginning of manifested reality, before God created heaven and earth, emerged the objectification of being, life, and light. The first manifestation was called the open eye. It was designated by what? By the Kabbalists as Kether, the crown of the eternal glory. I just let's pull this one out. This right here, the tree of life. I'm showing y'all, which when they say the Kabbalists or the Kabbalists, right? Shit that Jesus had to learn, shit that Moses had to learn. At the top, you should see Kepha. What does it say? I'm gonna hold this up. The cop. Okay, hold on. The objectification of being, life in light. This first manifestation was called the open eye and was designed by the Kabbalists called Kether. All right, it's at the top. Kether, the firstborn of the Absolute, was life in expression. Within the nature, hold up, within the nature of Kether, it was manifested polarity, which is the foundation of activity. Now you can get into what we, and I just caught on this, what we call in Samkhya Darshan Prakriti. See if I can bring this up for you niggas. I already did a video on it, but we'll do it again. Let's see. Well, fuck. Prakriti is down here. You can't see that shit. Well, maybe you can. Maybe I just can't see it on my screen. Hold up, y'all. What the fuck happened? I'll tell you when this shit ain't recording. Let me stop. Come on, bro. Hopefully this shit still recording, bro. Come on, bro. Maybe it's my goddamn phone. Shit, my phone still says recording. Damn. What the fuck is up with that? It's my computer, bro. What the fuck? What the fuck is up with this shit, bro? This shit really disrespectful that he did that. Like, that shit be doing some weird shit, bro. Like, some real deal weird shit, bro. Which means now I know y'all can't see the goddamn screen. You know, motherfucking new tab. Bitch, I was already going, ho. Y'all restore the page. Weird ass shit. I probably need to clean my goddamn computer because I ain't even got that much shit on my computer. You can see if this shit still recording. That phone, though. I guess it's still recording, y'all. So, while this shit coming back up, what we gonna talk about here is quit. You know, you showing up. Mm-hmm. I'm in here, bro. So, you niggas can see me. Let's see. So, we just gonna finish this. And I'll come back and think I'm gonna do series. See how this shit work out, y'all. Alright. So, not sure how clear it is, but Hold on. Let me see. I had it backwards for one. All right. So over here we got Prakriti. Right. This can be considered a tree of life too. This is the Vedic understanding of the macrocosm and microcosm. Because we're gonna understand that the macrocosm, man is a microcosm of man, microcosm of God. Right. Let us go down and create man in the image of us. That's what that means. As above, so below. Listen, what does above, so below come from? On earth as it is in heaven. As below, so it is up in heaven. Niggas, niggas. You think that, what does that mean? When you think about that, what does that mean to your average everyday Christian? What does that mean? On earth as it is in heaven? Okay. That's not what I'm trying to do. Okay. Okay. Let me see. Make sure we still see here. Yeah. Well, the nature of, okay, Kabbalist Kether, the crown of the eternal glory. Ain't so far, ain't so. The absolute was a life in suspension. So outside of this here, ain't so, ain't so far. It'll be ain't so, and ain't so far. The triple blackness of space, the unmanifest, the three attributes of God. All right, and it's when before God came and created. All right, was the life in suspension. Kether, the crown, was the firstborn of the absolute. Was life in expression. Make sure it's showing my screen. Yeah. Was life in expression. Within the nature of Kether was manifested polarity. Huh? Was manifested polarity, which is the foundation of activity. That's why I'm showing you Prakriti. This is why we study cross reference, nigga. Cross reference some shit. Samkhya Darshan breaks down that whole thing. Activity is the feminine aspect of creation. Prakriti is all about manifest reality, motion, movement. Activity is the feminine aspect. The divine feminine aspect has nothing to do with the vagina. It's just represented as that in allegorical stories. So people see you have Shiva or Shakti up on your wall, or Shiva and Prakriti, or Purusha and Prakriti up on your wall. They think you represent a false god. Nigga, this ain't got nothing to do with that. These are principles and aspects and attributes of God. And you have a masculine side, you have a feminine side. Nigga. You have a positive and a negative side. Positive doesn't mean good, negative doesn't mean bad. Electric and magnetic. The polarities were called Abba. Or, guess what? They can be called yin and yang. Yeah, my niggas. My niggas. Hold on. Hold on. Or it be called yin and yang. You niggas can read that. I know you don't. Yeah, you niggas can read that yin and yang. Mm-hmm. Negative and positive. Masculine and feminine. Masculine and feminine. That's what they talking about here. How do I know this what they talking about? Because this is the Kabbalah, nigga. This is the tree of life, nigga. This is what God told you can eat from the tree of. This is what Jesus would have had to study. This is what Moses would have had to study to become profound in the knowing that they have. That's how I know you. Boy, Jesus came back, you niggas wouldn't believe him. You niggas wouldn't believe him. He be saying the same shit niggas like me saying. You niggas is, boy. The father. The polarities will call Abba, the father, and Aima, the mother. Abba was the positive manifestation of spirit as force. Energy and power. Ama was a negative manifestation of spirit as matter, substance, and receptivity. Purusha and Prakriti. Purusha is the individual soul. Prakriti is the activity, the manifestation, the formation comprised of the three gunas. She is the cause and the effect wrapped up in it. But she herself is not of cause and effect. She is causeless. She exists in the unmanifest. Nigga, the unmanifest. In harmony. From the union of Abba and Ama, energy and substance was produced. So, from the energy of Purusha, which is the soul, which is the construct, which is the mind, which is the thought, which is the which is well, thought is actually more of a manifestation thing, but let's just keep it simple. Purusha would be the seer, the observer, the whole construct of what reality could be like comes from the thought form, or comes from the thought of Purusha. And Prakriti is the one who makes that shit happen. And Prakriti is only doing this for entertainment purposes of the soul. Once the soul stop paying attention, Prakriti stop moving. Once the soul is once the soul is tired of watching the play, once the soul is tired of experiencing manifest reality, what happens? R.I.P. That's when you R.I.P. You done playing a game this go around. I come back and do it again. Or I'm done in general. According to the Kabbalists, the Elohim, or the creator gods, were the progeny of the union of life and matter. It was the Elohim in turn moving in space who brought forth the mundane universe over which they ruled. By mundane is meant not the physical worlds, but the metaphysical system of the physical, of which the physical creation is the lowest of the seventh part. Nigga, the mundane. Even if you motherfuckers talking about getting up to the seventh, you know what I'm saying, the highest level of what's the name, which would be the booty, right? See, this is all played out. That's why you have to cross reference. That's how you have to cross reference, because what did it say? But by mundane is meant not the physical world, because normally when we talk about mundane, we talk about the physical world. But check this out. By mundane is meant not the physical words, but the metaphysical system of which the physical creation is the lowest of the seventh or the seventh part. Right? So even when you talking about getting up to the highest chakras, the crown chakra is buddhi. It spoke of in Samkhya Darshan, the Tatwa Shuddha, of the Tantric of the Yogic studies and understandings. Buddhi is the higher self, my higher self, my higher self, my higher self. It's broken down in Samkhya Darshan as it only being the reflection, the mirror of Purusha, which is the individual soul. It's only the mirror. And guess what? It still exists in the manifest reality. The microcosm. It exists under limits, which is Maya. It limits the way you, as far as much shit as you can see, know, and have will and have activating force of. And earth is of the lowest, of the physical creation is of the lowest part. The first manifestation or agitation was equivalent to the conception of the universe in all its parts, like the planting of a seed from which was to grow the worlds. It is the first motion in the absolute. The comparison in other religion systems checks and justifies the speculation of the Jewish mystics. How do you know that? Because I just did it. I just did it with Samkhya Darshan, the Tawa Shuddha, Tantric of the yogic practices. Listen, here you go. In the Tibetan system, the meditations of Adi Buddha, universal consciousness, produces the seven dhyana Buddhas, or the seven modes of consciousness. Consciousness means awareness, or the seven modes of awareness by which the world is formed. In the teachings of the Persians, the supreme nature Ahura Mazda manifested the Amisha Spintus, who become the formatters of the lower worlds. In the Egyptian Hermetic teachings, the Elohims are the governors, the cosmo creators. That's how you get Shu, that's how you get Geb, that's how you get Mayat, that's how you get all these Tahuti, Set, Horus. In ancient Egyptian systems, they were the Ammonian artificers, artificers, artificers. And if y'all laughing, fuck it. Like you know I get this shit, but whatever the fuck that means. The servants of Ptah, who fashioned the egg of the universe upon the potter's wheel. Ain't that what Ptah did? The Elohim were also the seven cabin of Samothrace, the seven rays upon the golden crown of the Gnostic lion. Y'all, bro, Demerge. Niggas scared? The sacred seven, the unwritten vows which together make up the name of the unmanifested divinity. The seven colors of the light spectrum, nigga. The 7 days of creation. The seven seals of revelation. The eternal recurrent symmetry by which art, music, and physics are bound together. What is that? They are the Elohim, the seventh breaths that move upon the deep. Brahma. We're going to stop here tonight. Alright? We just ran through the whole creation. Or the beginning, right? Because there's another part we can go through. I'm going to try to keep these videos under 1 minute, 1 hour, under 2 hours. So yeah, bro, it's like, bro, like when you become a student of the occult, everybody is put in fear by that, right? Or just reject it, completely reject it. I even got around a woman when she just started singing her church tunes. She seen my Eleke's, the beads that the Ifa religion or the Santeria religion use, which I'm not part of any of that religion. Why? Why would I be a part of any religion when all this shit is the same shit? I can use every fucking system because every system of religion is fucking fractionalized. You have to cross reference. So all you're doing is using different attributes of God. They're not fucking spirits that are separate from whatever God that you think is better than everybody else's that you worship. That's ignorant. And it's not ignorant like you don't know how to tie your shoes and you don't know how to A plus B and you don't know how to put gas in your gas tank type ignorance. This ignorance is just regular, normal ignorance. You simply are not informed because you have been subjugated to culture. You have been subjugated to fucking indoctrination. You have been subjugated to fucking tradition. So now you avoid the complete understanding of God because you put God in this box. You think you don't put God in the box. But every time you see something, say, that's not my God, you just put God in a box, which means you gave God limitations, which I know by the way of your thinking, by your psychology, you don't understand God. And you don't understand life. And you don't understand life by the laws God has set up. You thinking the Ten Commandments that was given to people who didn't understand who didn't understand how to walk through life with values. They needed to be taught morals. They need to be taught morals because they act like fucking animals. You see what I'm saying? I don't steal. I don't kill. I don't manipulate. I don't lie. You see what I'm saying? I don't Fuck other niggas' bitches. I don't beget niggas' wives. I don't live like that. You see what I'm saying? So how is anything that I'm doing evil? So when you limit God and put God in a box, you are also limited to the blessings that your God can be giving you. Because you can meet someone or you can be met with certain situations and not understand this is where God has exactly placed you. You ask for a lot of money, God put you in a situation where God put you in a situation where, okay, you want a lot of money, guess what? I'm finna send your ass over here. You finna go pick up your friend and meet them and take them, and next thing you know, you're gonna see a sale on some of the shit that you always wanted. A big sale. Let's see how you act. You want a lot of money, you gotta learn how to treat it a little bit. So what you gonna do with this shit? You spent that bag. She didn't want to learn about that shit. Listen, you ain't seeing how this shit is lining up for you because you limited it. You thinking God blessed you because, oh, God bless me, girl. Oh, thank God. I caught this shit on sale. Don't people say shit like that? Thank God I caught this shit on sale. So now God blessed you to catch a sale for your desires, but you really claiming you want more. People think God is reaching down and doing little petty shit like that. The fuck type? Why would God sit here and do some petty shit like that? Certain laws and principles are already set up. Certain causes and effects are already set up. The cause is already present. The effect is already present in the cause. That's what we learn in some Kidashun. The effect is already present in the cause. Some causes have numerous, a long list of effects. Some only have maybe one or a couple. You have to find the potent cause to get the desired effect. If you're not understanding these laws and principles that God set up, God set this shit up automatically so we don't have to, or he or it or she or they don't have to physically reach down. And I'm only saying that for the level of understanding I know a lot of people have. I have to break it down like that. Our level of understanding is past of he or she, it or they. It's I, nigga, what you talking about. So why would it? God reach down and do some shit like that. God ain't got time for that. You did. So I know you have a limited version understanding of God, which means you have a limited version of understanding life. With that being said, man, understand this shit, bro. No obstacle. Normally say no way down there, but I'm using two cameras. So understand this. No obstacles will apprehend. Let me see if I can put it up. It don't matter. No obstacles will apprehend you. No obstacles will apprehend you. Prosper over pain. Prosper over pain. I'm gonna holler at y'all. This is the understand how to understand your Bible by Manly P. Hall. Hopefully you receive this. If not, fuck it.